Clause 7 is about sport, and under it are 5 subclauses including resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. We shall study each one and its subclauses in the subsequent slides. Clause 7.1 requires that the organization must determine the resources needed for OHS management system and provide these resources. The resources could be human, technological, financial, natural, or infrastructure, for example, building, plant, equipment, utilities, information technology and communication systems, and emergency containment systems, etc. If an OHS management system needs resources, then why is it not a liability to the organization? Isn't it contradictory to the financial argument for managing OHS at the workplace? Pause this slide and think about the answer before I explain. An effective and efficient OHS management system is an investment, but it takes time and resources before the OHS management system becomes effective and efficient. Organizations need to spend huge amount of resources on their OHS management system in the beginning. It's like planting a tree and watering it daily till the time it starts providing shadow and fruit. If you think the OHS management system is implemented today and it will start saving you money the next day, then this is not correct. You need to improve OHS culture through OHS management system, deploy effective and efficient controls against significant hazard, and learn lessons from the mistakes to continually improve OHS management system. Only then the OHS management system will start paying you back. Clause 7.2 requires that the organizations shall determine the required competence for OHS performance at all levels of the organization, ensure that workers are competent as required, make interventions to acquire and maintain the competence of the workers, and keep records of these 3 steps. What if a worker deployed on a machine is not competent in your opinion as an auditor, but the organization says the worker is competent, keeping in view the risk exposure? Give your response from an auditor's perspective. Pause this slide and think about the answer before I explain. As we have earlier discussed on many occasions, auditors should refrain from exercising their opinions or preferences. The objective evidence in terms of relevant facts are only reliable tools for auditor. The objective evidence in terms of relevant facts are the only reliable tools for the auditors. In this situation like this, the auditor can see if there have been any OHS issues by deploying this or any other workers on the machines. The auditor may raise an improvement opportunity or observation but cannot initiate a non-conformity, as it is up to the process owner to decide what is best fit for them unless there is a recorded OHS accident which can be related to the worker's incompetence. Clause 7.3 requires that organization shall create awareness for all the workers so that they should know: number 1, the OHS policy of the organization and the OHS objectives which they are trying to achieve. Number 2, how they fit in the OHS management system and its performance. Number 3, what will happen if they do not follow the safe system of work procedure. Number 4, what relevant incidents occurred at the workplace and the reasons and contributory factors for the incidents, including any lessons learned. Number 5, workplace hazards and the applicable control measures in their respective workplaces. Number 6, to let them know that they can leave the work if there is imminent danger to their life or health without being penalized. So here's another food for thought. How as an auditor you will confirm if the workers have been given awareness as per the requirements of clause 7.3. Pause this slide and think about the answer before I explain. There are a number of ways in which an auditor can confirm if the workers are aware about the requirements of clause 7.3. For example, the auditor can observe if the workers are complying with the safety procedures, they are wearing personal protective equipment or not, where applicable. The auditor can also interview any worker and ask what type of safety training they are provided or what they do if they may believe there is a risk to their health or safety. The auditors usually ask the workers about the organization's OHS policy and wish to understand how the policy is relevant to them and what is their role in achieving the OHS policy goals. It is, however, not mandatory that every worker should be able to tell you the OHS policy statement, but they should at least tell how their occupational safety is managed. For example, if they know what will they do if there is fire or other emergency at the workplace. Clause 7.4 is about the communication related to OHS management system, and under this are three subclasses including general, internal communication and external communication. We shall review each subclass in the subsequent slides. Clause 7.4.1 requires that the communication procedure of the organization should identify: number 1, what OHS matters need to be communicated; number 2, when to communicate, for example, frequency of a specific communication related to OHS, for example, OHS monthly meetings; number 3, who to communicate with, for example, internally to workers, supervisors, managers and directors, or externally to subcontractors, customers, regulatory bodies, certification bodies, etc. Number 4, what shall be the medium of communication, for example, it shall be communicated on internet, or an email shall be sent, or a paper-based system shall be used. The records of communication as appropriate shall be retained by the organization. Clause 7.4.2 requires that an effective internal communication procedure is in place within the organization. Clause 7.4.3 requires that an effective external communication procedure is in place which meets the legal requirements related to external OHS communication, for example, RIDDOR, RIDDOR, which is Reporting of Incidents, Diseases and Dangerous Occurrences Regulation 2013 requirements in the UK. Clause 7.5.1 requires that the organization's OHS management system shall include the documented information required by the ISO 45001 and any other documented information which the organization has identified to be necessary for the effectiveness of the OHS management system. Give an example of the documents other than the mandatory documents for ISO 45001 that the organization may identify as being necessary for the effectiveness of the OHS management system. Pause this slide and think of the answer before I tell you the examples. There could be a number of documents apart from the mandatory OHS documentation as per requirements of the ISO 45001. For example, benchmarking data, permit to work, safe system of work procedure, health and safety manual, audit reports, incident reports, etc. Clause 7.5.2 requires that organization shall ensure that the traceability of documented information is made when they are created or updated. Moreover, the documented information is in a specific format and appropriate review and approval is done before issuance. What is the purpose of traceability in OHS documented information? Pause this slide and think of the answer before I explain. The purpose of the traceability is that obsolete documents are retrieved and only valid and unique documents are available at the point of use. Clause 7.5.2 requirements are aimed at preventing unintended use of obsolete documented information.